What's up, y'all? How y'all doing out there today? It's your girl Tiffany, and I'm back at it with another video. And this time, you guys, I really decided to switch up my video a little bit just so I can let you guys into my life just a little bit, poquito, you know, so you guys can know where I was at, where I'm at now, and where I'm going. So, if you haven't read by the title by now, pretty much it's going to be a story time. It's going to be a story time when I was 15, fast as heck, and I had a child. 15 with a kid. So that's basically what this story is going to be about. But not only that, that was 22 and a half years ago. My son will be 23. So I'm going to give you guys the beginning from when I became pregnant, the middle to where I sacrificed everything for my baby boy, to now. So stick with the video. If you haven't already became part of my family, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? The subscribe button is not going to hit itself. Become my family. Get me to 35 subscribers by the end of the week. In 4-5 days, get me to at least 35 subscribers. You could be that one to get me to the 35 subscribers. So stick with this video. It's going to be something really for you guys to really just put your faith in everything that you have and just go for what you know. Alright? That's what this video is all about. Alright, you guys. So I'm back at it with this video. And if you haven't already subscribed and you this far, I mean, either you have an account on YouTube or Google or something, but I don't know what's going on. But let's get right to the video. When I became 15 years old and I had a boy. So, you guys, this was 22 years ago, so this was in 1998. I was 15 years old, and for some strange reason, I wanted a kid. I wanted a kid so bad, so it wasn't like it was unplanned or like anything weird or anything like that. Like, I really was 15 years old, but I wanted a kid. So I went out and I met his dad, and we were together for a minute, but I wanted a kid. That was my whole focus and everything at that time. So yeah, I was 15 years old, I was fast, I wanted a kid. You guys know what happened after that. A couple months later, I became pregnant. So at this time, I'm in the 9th grade. I'm 15 years old, and I was so scared to tell my mom that I wrote a letter to my mom, pretty much telling her, like, I'm pregnant, I'm keeping this baby, there's nothing you can do about it, boom, 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 here go my baby clothes. Let her tell it. She found the baby clothes in my closet. I don't remember how that happened. I remember either I wrote her a letter, and I had a friend at that time, you guys. That's why you can't trust everybody. People is something else. My friend ended up telling my mom that I was pregnant. So it was so much that happened in that little speak of my life of becoming pregnant. But I was 15, I was pregnant. And of course, everybody around me was upset. My family was upset, my dad, everybody was upset. Like, who wants their 15-year-old daughter pregnant? But couldn't nobody tell me nothing. Couldn't nobody tell me nothing. So I had a cousin on my dad's side who contacted a talk show, you guys. I was on a freaking talk show. So my cousin, she ended up contacting this talk show. It was called the Jenny Jones Show. And it was pretty much, my daughter is 15 and she wants a baby, right? So the show contacted my mom and was like, okay, we want you and your daughter to fly down here to Chicago. We want you guys to be on the show. You know, we have a panel of a lot of girls who wants to be pregnant. But the only thing, you guys, I was already pregnant. Everybody on the panel wanted to be pregnant. I was already pregnant, but I'm jumping too far. So me and my mom, so before we go to the show, my mom broke her off some kind of deal, like, I'm gonna miss work, blah, blah, blah. I need to get compensated for this. I need to get compensated for that. So they ended up sending my mom a check for us to come on the show. My mom wasn't about to go on the show and miss work and all that. So they compensated us good. They put us in a hotel room. We had a voucher, you guys, for the Michael Jordan restaurant. And at this time, it's 1998, Michael Jordan was still playing. He was not retired. So I was a Michael Jordan fanatic. Like, every Michael Jordan that came out, I had the shoe. So they gave us vouchers and all this stuff. So we ended up going to the Michael Jordan restaurant. See, at this time, I don't know if I knew I was pregnant with a boy or if I wanted a boy, but they ended up giving us some money and we ended up going to this Michael Jordan restaurant and they had like a gift shop. So I bought all this boy stuff, I think I just wanted a boy. 15 years old, I just wanted a boy, right? So I bought all this boy stuff for my kid. I didn't even know what was the gender of the kid. I just bought all this boy stuff. All this Jordan. But fun fact about that restaurant, they had like, see, this was 1998. So 1997, 1998 or whatever. So like a $15 burger right now is nothing. Pay for a $15 burger. But back then, a $15 burger, $20 burger was ridiculous. But that's how much their burgers was at this restaurant. They were like $15, $20, whatever. But anywho, that was a couple of years ago. I can't really remember, but I remember we went all the way to Chicago. They paid for us a room. We was on the show, and then they ended up calling us. So we on the show, right? So before we go on the show, my mom said one thing. She like, Tiffany, don't embarrass me. No, don't embarrass me. So I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna embarrass my mama. Who wants to embarrass my mama? So we get on this show, and you know how, if you guys ever remember watching Ricky Lake, Montel Williams, Jenny Jones, if you part of that era, then you know what I'm talking about. If you're not part of that era, ask your mama, ask your auntie, your grandma, somebody, and they'll tell you. So the audience was mean. They were freaking mean. Like, it's like, who raised you guys? Why are you guys talking to little girls like that? So they'll get up and they'll say, well, where's their fathers? And just like weird stuff. Just weird stuff. So my mom said, don't embarrass her. So I'm like this, y'all. I'm like this on the whole thing. They asking questions. I ain't embarrassing. I'm just wiping my face. Just wiping my face. So a couple months later, fast forward, so everybody on the show, all the girls on the show wanted to be pregnant. I was the only one that was pregnant. So I don't know why they edited me out. I don't know if it was because of this, doing that, or if it was because all the girls on the show wanted to be pregnant and I was already pregnant and my mom had my back and all the other girls' mom was like, no, this is not right. Give them the fake doll, blah, blah, blah. So anywho, jumped ahead. So a couple of months later, about 3-4 months later, I'm in high school. Now I'm like 4-5 months pregnant. So they call my mom like, you guys are going to be airing 5 o'clock, channel 2, tune in. Woo, right? So my mom called all her friends. I called all my friends. Pretty much had a watch party at the house to watch us on the show. Watch the show, 30 minutes ago. Like, where am I at? I'm like, ooh, I'm about to come on next. Girl, I'm about to come on next. Commercial, right? So then it comes back and I see myself on the stage, but the whole segment of me and my mom talking about me being pregnant, she gonna have my bag and me doing all this is gone. I just see my black ass on the stage and pretty much that's it. So it was just funny. So they had edited us out. Yeah, they edited us out that video. So that was that. So that's what I went through. My mom always had my back though. 15 years old, I'm her only child, so she always had my back with my son. It wasn't no get out, none of that. It was like, stay here, pay rent, I got you. So, my mom had my back. So a couple of months later, I come home. Now, you guys, I'm 15, I'm pregnant. Like I said, I'm a Jordan fanatic. I'm the only child, so I'm spoiled, very spoiled. Any Jordan I got, my baby got. So then I'm going, since I was 15, I had like a high-risk pregnancy to where I was getting sonograms all the time. But like I said, this was 22 years ago, all that 3D sonogram, that wasn't even thought of. So I was getting sonograms and stuff, and they told me, "Lil, congratulations, you about to have a girl. You about to have a girl." I'm like, all right, I'm about to have a girl. What? Okay, I thought I was about to have a boy, but that's all right. We're gonna name her this. I had 3-4 sonograms, no lie. And the last one that I had, they honestly showed me on the screen, was like, we don't see any boy parts, so this is a girl. I went all out. I'm getting everything pink. everything pink. Oh my God. Pink comforter, pink this, pink take home bag, pink diaper bag, pink car seat, pink everything. Everything was pink. So I'm in labor. Like I said, I'm 15. Of course, labor is going to be horrible. I'm a little girl, right? So I'm in labor. He comes out so many hours later. I had the epidural shot. Thank the Lord for that shot at that time. Didn't feel nothing, but I also couldn't push, right? So I'm pushing for like 3 hours. Just pushing. Little girl pushing. Push, feel. I'm like, I can't feel nothing. What am I pushing? So I pushed. He finally came out. My baby came out with the biggest cone head, y'all. So he came out with this big old cold head. They like, oh, he's a boy. He a boy? What? So they like, you want to hold him? I'm like, nope. I don't want to hold him. So his dad hold him, he hold him and stuff, and he, you know. So at this time, we don't have no name. So like I said, he was supposed to be a girl. All we had was a girl name. So he went 24 hours without her name. I didn't want a junior. I don't even think his dad wanted a junior, but at that time, it was crunch time. So we named him after his dad. I go home with my son. Like I said, I had pink everything. So people had to go redo everything. Had to go get a new boy take home outfit. It was horrible. So I finally get home, and now from my baby shower, you guys, I have all this girl stuff. So I'm like, I'm about to take this stuff back. Take it back. About to give my baby all kinds of jeans and hats. Him about to be clean. So I'm starting to take this stuff back. And why the stuff that was like $49.99, stuff that had $20, whatever the price was now 59 cents, 29 cents, 99 cents. Like real talk, everything. Because I basically had to take everything back. Stuff that I couldn't take back, like little onesies and stuff that I already had open, folded them, put them in his drawer. He wore those. Yes, he wore those. He'll wear pink to this day and don't care. And so, yeah, he wore pink. He wore that. So, now I got this little boy. Man. Got this little boy. I finished school with my kid. At this time, you guys, back in 1998, teen pregnancy was so high that they start putting daycare centers in the high schools for the girls to finish school. At that time, I was part of that generation. Like I was the first year of doing that. So when I was in 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, my son was actually in a daycare. So I would go to school, and one thing about me, like I said, I dressed. And if I dressed, my son dressed. So that was one thing that we were known for at this school, that we dressed. He had jewelry, he had all kinds of stuff. So I took him to school. With me, and he was always with me, always. So my 12th grade year, I decided I was too grown. I wasn't gonna finish high school. I got a 2-year-old kid who I look like. These kids don't have nothing on me. Yeah. So I dropped out of high school. And I'm like, man, I'm just gonna find a little college to go to or whatever. So I enrolled into college, and they actually paid for my GED. So they paid for my GED, and I was supposed to start there fall, right? They paid for my GED. I'm all grown. I ain't going to school, so I didn't go to college right then. So now I'm living my best life, right? I'm 18, 19, my kid like 3 or 4. It's just me and him. Like, he has been my backbone since he was a little boy. And even 22 years later, he still is that backbone. I'll tell y'all about that later. So, I didn't go to college. I'm working. I'm a hustler. I've always been a hustler. So, he was in school. I always kept him in childcare, good childcares. I didn't let anybody really watch him until he got older, because I'm always a big advocate of, if that kid can't talk, he shouldn't be, or she shouldn't be allowed to go to nobody's house. I don't care who it is. If my baby can't look at me and be like, he did it, she did it, they did it, oh yeah. So he was always sheltered under me. Or it was somebody like my mom who watched her, or somebody real close that I could trust. So I really didn't do too much then. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna live my best life. I'm gonna work. I had me a spot, always had me a car. So I didn't really do too much then. So fast forward a couple of years later, I did end up going to school. I ended up going to college. I did get me an associate's degree. By this time, I already had my second child, who was a girl, which I will give you a story time on that later. And I think I was pregnant with my third child at that time, but I did go to school. I was actually working at the school, went to school, got my college degree, baby, and then went back to school 2 weeks later to get my AA degree and work back at the school. So I've always been a hustler. But we're not gonna talk about the two kids, we're just gonna talk about my son, the first one. I give y'all the story time on them later. So I always been a hustler. He always, you know, had my back no matter what. It was like he was sent to me from the universe to help me stay on point, you know, to make sure my I's is dotted and my T's is crossed, pretty much. So he always had my back. He always kept me here, because I always know what I didn't want for him. You know, I kind of babied him extra, because that's what moms do. I think they baby their sons to the point to where they'll still be with you years later if you don't know how to cut it. But we'll talk about that later. So fast forward, now he's a teenager, you guys. Now this boy is a teenager, right? So he's a teenager and he's getting in so much trouble at school. So much trouble. I mean, he's getting suspended from school. He'll go to school. And not only that, I put him in the same school that I went to where they had the child care. So I went to this high school and then I put him in the same high school years later. Bad idea. Freaking bad idea. So I put him in this school. He was getting suspended. It was like the principal had a vendetta against him. It was just horrible. And I'm the type of parent, like, I'm not so much a believer in the teachers, because you know it's two sides. Well, it's actually three sides to every story. He is, hers, and the truth. So I'm really not a big advocate of a teacher calling me like, your son or your daughter's doing this. Oh, I need to see that. So I was always in the principal's office, and I could see the principal was just really didn't like my kid, and it was just bad. It was bad. It was just bad. I'm not gonna go into it, but he was doing his thing in school, being a teenager. I'm not even gonna say he was being a boy, because I hate that saying boys can be boys and girls can be girls. That's stupid. But he was being a teenager. If you've ever been a teenager, you know, like, I've been y'all age. You ain't ever been my age. So I was going through that. But one thing I knew was not to give up on my kid. I knew that. So I'm in a good job, you guys. I'm making maybe $40,000 a year. I'm serving, making big bread, making no high school, a college degree, GED, but I'm still making bread. Got kids, making bread. I leave all of that. I'm like, all right, something got to do. I'm not going to lose my kid in the streets. I'm not about to bury my kid. He's going to finish high school. He's not going to be a statistic. So at this time, my boyfriend to this day, I talked to him and I'm like, let's move. So the whole plan, you guys, was for us to move to Las Vegas. That's what we were supposed to do. Supposed to move to Las Vegas, leave everything, move to Vegas, boo, new life. Somehow, some way, on our way moving to Vegas, we get talked out of moving Vegas. Go into a story time about that later, not right now. So we get into the big thing. People are like, oh, that's not a place to raise kids. But my heart, my personality was just like too big for California right at this time. At this time, I needed to be with flash and light. I just felt like, where I'm going, oh yeah, I will be a Las Vegas resident soon. But at that time, like I said, we got talked out of it. He's like 15, 16, so I'm like, all right, not going to Vegas, let's stick to California. Not Oakland, let's just go. So it was either between Sacramento, which is the state capital, or it was between another little city called Stockton, California. So we go to Stockton one day, and it was like, nah, I'm not about to move from one hood and move into another hood. I might as well stay in my hood. So it was like, no. So Stockton was out in like 24 hours. So I was like, all right, we're gonna move to Sacramento. We know that's a retirement state. We know it's pretty slow. So it took us like 3-4 months to find a good spot that I wanted to raise my family. It was called the Thomas. Like, the liquor stores closed at 10 o'clock. Like, whatever. So I moved I moved my whole family. Leave my job, leave everything, furniture, everything, leave everything. So I moved my family, Sacramento, 99 miles from where I stayed. Not too far, but you know, it's an hour, 2-hour drive. So I moved my family, put him in a school. Like I said before, if you guys didn't hear me, my baby was getting suspended every day. He'd go back to, he'll be on to 3-day suspension, go back on Thursday, he would be getting suspended at this other school. So I put him in this school, and this boy flourished. I don't know if he was in the 10th grade or the 11th grade. I think he was going into, he was in the 10th grade. Yeah, he was in the 10th grade. So he was in the 10th grade. If I'm mistaken, I asked him, or maybe have a little mukbang with him and probably ask him what grade it was. But it was the 10th or 11th grade, one of them grades. So I moved my baby from where we was at, and I moved all the way to Sacramento, California. Now let me tell you guys, coming from the Bay Area, Oakland, California, and moving to Sacramento is a different change. Different change. If you gotta come to California, or you gotta be from out here to know. The Bay Area style is so different from Sacramento. It's so different. Oakland is so different from, I'm not even gonna say Bay Area. Oakland is so different from a lot of cities. It could be Hayward, San Leandro. There's something about Oakland, and you could tell when a person from Oakland. So we moved from Sac, but like I said, we was Oakland all the way. We moved to Sac, slowed my baby down. He graduated with honors. Never seen the inside of that office. And I remember when he graduated, he told me, he said, "Mommy, you know what? I never seen the inside of that office." So at that time, I figured, I said, sometimes that's all a kid needs is a new environment. Where I was at that time, you know, it was police going down the street. It was not a real good neighborhood, but it was my neighborhood. But I knew if I moved my family, if I moved him somewhere else, and he's seen something else, he will want something else. Your environment changes everything. He wasn't seeing people that he was seeing where we was at. You get what I'm saying? When we moved, I mean, we was seeing Teslas, and I mean, it was just a different environment. So that's what he's seen. That's what he wanted. Even to this day, he wants more. So I moved him out there to Sacramento. He graduated with honors. I actually adopted another, hey son. I actually adopted another kid who just walked through the door from the back. So yeah, when I moved to Sacramento, he became best friends with a young man, which I'm gonna put them both on my channel, but he became best friends with this guy who is actually my son to this day. Love that kid. I felt like I was to move to Sacramento to meet him and for my son to graduate. So yeah, so we go to Sacramento. Sacramento was just too slow. And we was always coming back to Oakland anyway. So he's like, man, let's just move back. But let's just move somewhere not, you know, not close to Oakland, but close to Oakland. 30 minutes, 20 minutes away. So that's what we did. So we found his house at this time. Now he's 18, 19. He finds him a job doing his thing. But basically, you guys, I'm gonna have a part 2 to this video to where I'm gonna have him on here and I'm going to have my other son on here. Maybe have a little mukbang, you know, do something real nice for you guys can see where I'm coming from. For you can see who I'm doing it for, like actually doing it for. So yeah, 22 years later, I'm fast forwarding, because if I tell you 22 years of my story time, you'll be like, damn girl. So fast forward, now he's 22. He has his own LLC. He started his own business. He do still stay at home. They have the garage, him and my other son, so that's their spot. So he do stay at home. I'm not a big advocate that when he's 18, when they're 18, they gotta go. That's one thing we don't do. That's one thing that we need to stop doing in our community. When they're 18, they're still babies. If you're over 18, remember when you was 18. You still needed your mama. You still needed your daddy. You weren't all the way grown. You probably was making your money and all that, but you still needed your mother. You still needed your daddy. So they will be moving pretty soon, because like I said, I will be moving to Las Vegas within the next 9 to 10 months. I will be a resident there. And they're gonna do their thing, you know, but right now they both rap. One of my two favorite rappers, two of my two favorite rappers. Like I said, my son got him an LLC. My other son has a 2-year-old daughter. She'll be 2 on the 28th. So yeah, they both graduated from high school. My son wasn't able to walk the stage because they try to play little black boys. That's okay. The graduation was on Friday. He got his high school diploma on Monday. He had to do one test, you guys. That's another story time. And my other son, he did. He was able to walk the stage. So I do have 2 high school graduates, 2 black boys, 2 high school graduates. Never seen the penitentiary, no felonies. One has a kid, but he was already out of high school, working. They're both doing their thing, bringing in their own income. So I'm very proud of them. Very, very proud of them. So pretty much, that's the end of this video. I just wanted to bring you guys into my life, let you guys know why am I doing this. I'm doing this for my kids. This YouTube stuff is for my kids. I'm showing them that it's more to life than what you think it is. Like, God did not put nobody on this earth to just be average. He didn't put us on this earth to work a 9 to 5 all our life. Now don't get me wrong. I have did my fair of 9 to 5s. Do not get me wrong. But you have a dream. You have a talent. Come on, y'all want to be on my video?
Hi, I'm SK. I'm our son.
The one I'm talking about. So, it's my story time that I've been wanting to do for so long. That wasn't. And I told them I'm going to do a mukbang with you guys. A part 2.
You've been waiting to introduce me too, so.
Yeah, next time.
Hey, YouTube crew.
Look at his shoulder. Come in the frame.
I'm a very colorful person like my mom.
Didn't I tell you guys it's too bright? Told you. My son don't care. He wears the clothes. He don't let them wear him. But I'm about to end this video, you guys. Like I said, I'm gonna do a part 2 to this. Maybe y'all could ask me some questions in the comments or something like that. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all want to do. So that's the end of this video. Go ahead, subscribe to my channel, share this video. I was saying something before he came in. I think I was saying that God didn't put you on this earth to be average. Yeah, God didn't put you on this earth to be average. So whatever's in your heart, whatever in your mind, whatever in your brain, do it. Do it. Only person stopping you is you. So if you want to do YouTube, like I said, if you guys haven't heard me in my previous videos, I've been wanting to do YouTube since he was still in high school. This all started in Sacramento. It was a dream in my head. Like, it has not went away. If you go back to my first videos, you'll see that I was a little bit timid. You know what I'm saying? Then your girl got a little confidence. You feel what I'm saying? So retention, do what you gotta do. If you don't see no results, like I said, I only get 3, maybe 4 views a day. I don't care. I'm still going to pick up my camera. You're still going to see my face. You still gonna see my, y'all like my sweater? Yeah, because I'm a self-made savage, and don't ever forget that. So, go ahead and subscribe to this video. It's going too long like the outro always do, and I'll see you next time.